Hello, everybody. This is Tiger Cole. I'm on tour with the Spiritual Freedom Series, and I'm here with Jan and Thomas Burke.
Hi.
We wanted to just do a quick video for you and talk about a few little things, what inspired us. And we also wanted to talk about the cleansing technique that you receive in the technique workshop. So that's something that we're inspired to share about, and we're going to share a couple more other techniques as well in other videos. But this one just seemed like it's appropriate for us to talk about now. So just compactly, Jen, what inspired you to get involved in the program when you first got involved?
What inspired me was the idea that I had help, that I had spiritual helpers or guides or angels. It's like, oh, wow, that would be so cool. I'm thinking. In actual fact, and it was very real. And so that's what really got me inspired to go deeper, to decide, yes, I'm going to find out about this.
And how about you, Thomas? What inspired you to get involved?
Yeah, I was just thinking. I realized that it was a place where I would get some answers. I grew up in a Catholic family, and I had a lot of questions about things. And I was always told, "Well, just believe it on faith. Don't ask those questions." You don't ask questions like that, boy. And I was I first heard about this program over the radio. It was a newscast about, they were talking about colors and how colors affect the body and the chakras. And I'm like, wow, these are people that are actually going to explain something. And I thought, I'd been through the whole religious thing, and I just knew that wasn't right for me. And so here was something else, a different version of what life could be about. People were actually going to say something, and it didn't matter to me so much if it was true or not, because I figured I could figure it out for myself if it was true or not. I just used my own system. I had my own inner system.
Right.
Yeah.
So and for me, the whole thing has to inspire. What's inspiring to me is the fact that there's this mystical part, or what would be considered mystical, like Jan's bringing up, like I have help, from a higher source, if you will, and that there's answers, right? Those two things really is what keeps me inspired and keeps me involved, so that I'm working both with the mystical and I'm working with the material and the supposed the real world here, right?
Yep.
And so those two things together for me provide a tremendous amount of fulfillment, whether we're talking about our relationships in life, we're talking about going to work, we're talking about just being in traffic, or just being by ourselves. I mean, there's a tremendous amount to just having fulfillment in life. And one of the things we talk about also when we have an orientation lecture, and then we do the technique workshop, and then there's study groups and courses and profiles after that. You go as far as you want. But really quickly, we get into the basics. And one of the basics is that you come here to become masterful of your energy. You come to be a master of yourself. And that one little simple message is pretty powerful, because it doesn't matter what your background is, where you're from, who you are, you can develop to your full potential. So one of the things we do talk about and we show really early in our technique workshop is a spiritual cleansing technique. And it really helps clear things inside. It helps bring really a sense of presence. And it also opens you up to that bigger picture, so that you can work with your spiritual helpers, your higher self. And so we wanted to also just share about some of our experiences and what that's like working with that cleansing technique. So Jan, what has been your experience of working with the cleansing technique, or any inspirations that you want to share about?
Well, since working with the cleansing technique and how to use it in my everyday life, I make sure that I'm cleansed every time I leave the house. But alongside of that, because in my job as a teacher, I was often to meet in an interview about a disruptive student, and I would cleanse and I would call in my guides close, so that I would approach the meeting, if it was a meeting, very calm, very focused, and very reverent, that listening to both sides. And so I found every time it worked well, because I was cleansed. I cleansed the people, the area where I was going to. It works wonderfully, really. Mm.
How about you, Tom? What's been your experience or involvement with the cleansing technique?
Yeah, for me it was like before I got involved or learned about the cleansing technique or how energy worked, I looked at my life as like I was a pinball in a pinball machine, just bouncing off everything. Like everybody was telling me what to do. Everybody was like, do this, do that. Like, yeah, did you do that yet? Are you done yet? It was like pressure here, pressure there, and I was like, where does this end? What the hell? It's like I couldn't. It was just like unbearable, and all I could do was escape. Chug a couple brews, everything will be fine. But that's not a solution. So, but when I realized what was happening and how energy affects me and how I have to accept the fact that I'm sensitive, and I pick up on what people are thinking and feeling and think it's me. Well, what the heck? Who am I then? I don't know. So for me, what cleansing helped me was figure out who am I and what do I want, and not have to focus on what other people want or be affected by what other people want, thinking it's me. That's the weird thing, Other people would be wanting something, I would think I wanted it. And it was like, whoa, no, that's not me. This is me. So that was just, like a rebirth in a way, birthing into myself. Not that I want to get into all that stuff, but, religion, but it was just, yeah.
Yeah, and for me, the cleansing technique, it kind of comes in parts, where we show you like there's 3 pieces in it to really get you focused. And as we share, it's like it just cuts through negativity. It just cuts through any kind of confusion in life. And those pieces together just really bring me into the present and really get me back focused on why I'm here, why I'm doing what I'm doing, whether I'm just doing something simple like the dishes or, going to the grocery store, or whether I'm doing something much more involved like sharing with people and working with people at that higher level and leadership roles. All those things, it's so much clearer. It's so much easier when I'm in that state, when I'm in that place of feeling cleansed. And I'm open also to the bigger picture. I'm open to my spiritual helpers and the universe, or whatever you want to call that, the higher self. It allows me to be one with at that point, not in an airy-fairy way, and in just a real, genuine, practical way I can do this. And then that's the final piece that I was going to share, is that all this is things that you can learn and do easily, right? It's not mystical. It's not for some master that you do 10 years from now that maybe you get the secret, right? It's all about getting the tools and techniques and then just practicing, right? And that's what you were sharing, is that the more we practice, the more it comes out of us, and it just becomes natural, right?
It becomes part of who we are.
Right.
Automatic.
So that's that cleansing force, just having someone in your environment, or you being in that environment where you are that positive force. Again, not in an ethereal way, but just as a real pragmatic and pure way. So that's just one of the techniques. We go through 10 techniques in the technique workshop.
Wow.
And we're going to look forward to sharing them with you.
Yeah.
Get onto the website. It's ipmi.org.au, and go to the events section, and you'll see there's Christchurch still left. There's Queenstown still left, as well as Auckland still left. And if you're not in those areas, or you can't get to those areas, there are also leaders around, just like Jan and Thomas, that can help you take those next steps. And each step lets you build to the next one, right? It just helps you that nice, steady pace, so you don't have to rush yourself. You can just actually enjoy the process and grow naturally. So we're looking forward to seeing you and working with you. See you, team.
Thanks, bye.
Cheers.